Okay, we're going to be working on a coordinate plane problem. And before we start working on it, we need to recall a few things about the coordinate plane. And if you'll remember, the coordinate plane is broken down into four sections. The first, or quadrants as we would call them, the first quadrant is here. This is the second quadrant. This is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Each quadrant has a set of two coordinates. Your first coordinate in quadrant 1 is positive, that's your x. Your second is also positive, that's your y. In quadrant 2, your x is negative and your y is positive. In quadrant 3, both your x and your y are negative. And in quadrant 4, your x is positive and your y is negative. The other thing that you need to remember when you're solving these problems is that you need to look at your x coordinate first, or you need to search along your your x axis first. So here's your x axis, and here are your x coordinates. It's always the first number in an ordered pair. Okay, then once you determine that, then you deal with the y axis or the y coordinate. Never start with y. And a good way to remember this is x comes before y in the alphabet. So you'll always know that x comes first. The other thing that you need to remember is that if you're moving to the right, we're talking about the x coordinate. If you're moving to the right, it's going to be positive. If you're moving to the left, it's going to be negative. If you're talking about the y coordinate or the y axis, if you're moving up, it's going to be positive. And if you're moving down, your coordinate's going to be negative. And there's some pointers that you need to keep in mind when you're moving around the coordinate plane. So let's get into this problem. The problem is number 5, what are the coordinates of the kickball field? So when we start to find these, we always start at our origin, which is here. And the coordinates of your origin are always 0, 0. So you're starting here, and we need to move along our x-axis first, and it's to the left. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know our x-axis is going to be -4 because we moved to the left, so it's negative. Now we need to find our y. So we're going to go up to find our y because the kickball field, we could see it's up. But how many up is it? Let's determine that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 up. Up is positive, so it's a +4. There, we found our coordinates for the kickball field. That's it. We are done with that. Okay, that was number 5. All right, let's look at number 6. Number 6 asks us, what is the distance in units between dodgeball and the swings? So here's swings and dodgeball. So we just need to count the grid and see how many units between dodgeball and the swings. So I'm going to start here. It doesn't matter if you start here and go up or if you start at swings and go down. So let's start at swings and go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 units. Now even though I went down 6, we're talking distance. Distance can never be negative. Even though I moved down, I still moved. So whenever you talk distance, it's always going to be a positive number. Never write distance as a negative number. And that is your answer for number 6. They will try and trick you and tell you that it's a -6 units. Never consider a negative answer for distance. And that's it. Thank you.